What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be working on basically key parts and critical things to do when it comes to LS swaps. So with that being said, oh, hold on, we have a little guest here. Oh boy. So with that being said, let's jump right on in. We are going to be doing the timing system. We're gonna change out the sprocket, the chain, and we're gonna be changing out the sprocket on the crank, and we're gonna be adding all new parts, all 3 new parts, and bolts too. We got new bolts, ARP bolts for the cam, and we are gonna go through it. But first, I wanna show you guys what we ordered here. This is not this part. This is what I ordered for the LS. Now this is a Rollmaster series for LS, right? This is your creme de la creme when it comes to LS swaps or LS anything timing wise, right? I mean, even TKN, they use these same company. They are tested, tried, and true. So I just went with one as well. I did not get a double like what you see here. I got me a single timing chain, but everything's billet. See, they give me the sprocket for the crank, and then they give me for the pump, and it has a little keyway on it. And then cool thing, you could do a custom type of timing when you want to advance or you want to retard the actual motor and camshaft before you even start up. You could do that. Me personally, I'm not going to do that because that's not what I'm trying to shoot for. I'm doing just, you know, regular LS stuff, but just, you know, more durable. So with that being said, I got my stuff here. Comes with instructions. It's pretty straightforward. They say when it comes to the standard timing, that's what kind of timing that you want to use. You get your cam sprocket and like a little pole to set the cam to basically dot to dot with the crank. And then for the little sprocket here, there's a number on here. It says 0 if I'm not mistaken. And then from 0 to the dot, that is your dot to dot. That's just, you know, standard timing. That is, you know, just basically OEM replacement, but just with stronger parts type of setup. Now they do talk about advanced timing or retard timing, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm not even going to be doing that. It's pretty much straightforward. They give you the information here, and we'll go from there. Very exciting. Rollmasters, shout out to Rollmasters. Also, shout out to Speedway Motors. They got all the bolts and stuff that you need for the cam for little or nothing. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. All right, guys, so I'm not gonna be talking over a fan here, and I didn't really have a nice area to put my camera at and give you some good shots, so I'm gonna be narrating a little bit in the background. But anyways, first things first, to do this timing setup, to change out the sprockets, you have to make sure of 2 things. Once your dot to dot is lined up, you have to see if the #1 piston is up. That is on the front of the engine driver side. And now I'm not going to take everything off all at once. I'm going to take off the cam sprocket first. As you guys can see, this is the old cam sprocket, and I'm going to show you guys basically the difference between the new one and the old one. They both look the same, but one is billet while the other one is cast. These both are the same kind of height, or they have the same depth comparing from the old to the new. And also, if you look closely for the new one, you could see that there is that little black disc on it. That is actually a Torrington bearing that goes on the back side of this cam sprocket. The sprocket rotates on the Torrington bearing. It takes a little bit of stress and friction off of the sprocket and the retainer plate. So I have on the new sprocket here. As you can see, it's still dot to dot. There's nothing rubbing, nothing scraping. Some people will have to do some type of modifications to those cam retaining plate bolts sometimes, depending on if you get a double roller or if you get a specialty type of sprocket. You might have to shave down those bolts so that the sprocket could sit in perfectly. Now, after I got my sprocket on and bolted up, I'm going to be removing the crank sprocket. With that, you use some type of balancer pulley or balancer puller, and I kind of had to modify them a little bit so they could slip behind the sprocket to pull it off. You can see I got the sprocket pulled off. It didn't take that much to pull it all the way off. I thought it was gonna take a little bit more, but it comes off pretty easy. Reusing the old sprocket, you could put on the new sprocket. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but here is the new crank sprocket compared to the old one. Again, they are the exact same kind of dimensions. Going back with OEM style timing for LS, you have the 0 keyway. Your keyway on the crank is supposed to match up with the 0 position. With that, the 0 tooth will match up with your dot on the cam sprocket. When you slide it on, as you can see, I have the keyway on the 0 position, and my 0 tooth is dot to dot to my cam sprocket. Using the old crank sprocket setup, push it down onto the keyway and have it set flush or almost flush. And just like that, it's a simple kit. Didn't take too long. Honestly, this is the first time me doing it, but if I do another one, it'll be a lot easier, a lot simpler, a lot quicker to do. And maybe I might be able to mess around a little bit with the timing stuff, maybe advancing or retarding the engine a little bit. It was definitely a learning experience. That's another thing I add to my bag of wisdom and knowledge, and definitely want to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to press that bell button for any notifications or updates for any new videos coming out. Have a great one.